Okay, what we were working on is doing this little knee. And how do you do it? You just kind of scoop it out above it. A little bit of a curvature on the bottom as well. And then you want to get rid of all these knife marks everywhere, because that's not going to look right when you go to paint it, remember. This can come down a little bit as well. We'll trim this down a little bit right there. Alright. Scoop that out as well. There we go. I still see too much on this side right there. Okay. Let's see if that will work. Yeah, alright. Now, over here at the bottom, we're gonna put a little notch right there. A little deeper notch behind the hoof here. And this will be rounded up a little bit. That's his kind of his belly there. Alright, same thing over here. We're going to put a little bit of a notch and come down. A lot of these animals, the bodies are pretty well the same. It's just a different size of the hoof and the type of hoof it is and that kind of thing. So I'm just going to follow this out a little further. We're going to trim this off. Get rid of all that nasty looking stuff. Okay. Now we need to go back on the back side here. We need to do his hips here a little bit. So let's just take a V-cut right above the hoof there. We're going to draw a line, and then you're going to go from either side. And actually, what I usually do is when I have, let me do this back here for a second. I can see what I'm doing. That was so simple. Okay. What I do back here is I just kind of follow the hoof around a little bit and then put my V-cut right up against that for the deepest part of the V-cut, and then take it up a little bit and then round it. And now here's the tail is as well, so we need to put a little V-cut. We put the tail in down and up, and then this is a little bit too thick. Their tails are a lot thinner, so let's do it a little bit thinner. Take a look at this other one. Yeah, and just kind of bring this down and around with a little U shape. And this is going to come down and around to the other side. So let's do this. And we'll notch that out. Alright. And then we'll round off the bottom a little bit. Alright. And we're going to go up a little ways. There we go. Alright. That's one side of the tail. Alright. Now we're going to go on the other side of the tail. Same thing. We're going to, from the bottom, we're going to notch that out because that's rounded, and we'll round this off. Okay, it's nice and rounded. And we're going to follow that up a little bit. Okay. But we also have to put the little V cut for his hip. And again, we're going to go up to the top here. We're just going to kind of notch that out really well, like a three-sided cut and a triangular cut. They're really handy, those triangular cuts. And there we go. Your deepest part, of course, is going to be near his foot or his hoof. Alright, and then we want to round that off a little bit on both sides. Alright, that looks pretty good. Let me take a look at it. Yeah. Okay. Now Now at the top of the tail here, we're going to follow the tail a little bit. We'll notch that out. Alright. We're going to bring it up and around and bring it down and loop it. A little bit of a curvature there, a little U shape. Take the tip of your knife and you're going to clean that out. Easier than that anyway, and it's going to come up a little ways. There we go. Alright, very good. Alright, and then we're going to round this off. Okay, we're going to make that a little deeper, but that's where his tail is, and we'll put a little thing added to it here in a second. Alright. So here on the back, we're just kind of scooping it out near the tail a little bit, and cleaning it up a little bit more, getting rid of all those knife marks, and you can really see them better if you have it wet sometimes. Not always, but usually it gets darker. And see how it's getting darker when I wet it? The same thing will happen when you paint it. If there's any of that left, it's going to get darker. It's going to soak it up more. Okay, so what you want to do is you just want to trim all that off. I have a little longer blade here to help me get across it. Just get rid of it, okay? Just get rid of those markings. See how dark it is? That's what will happen if you paint it. Why I never explained that before, but that's exactly the reason you want to get rid of it. Alright? So all those rough marks on the tail, you can make things a little bit deeper. You don't have to worry too much about losing the detail you just did. Just go back over it. Alright. And here I'm going to redefine right there. That's going to come down a little bit more. When I say I redefine things, what I do is I go back to everywhere that I cut and I recut it a little bit deeper, a little more distinct, so when I pull it out, you definitely can see the difference, okay? And that's what I've always done, is gone back lately and just redefined lines and where things are. Like right here where the hoof is, we went a little deeper, just redefine that cut again, you know. I'm going to do the same thing over here. See how much deeper this is, and then you can go back and blend that in with the leg curvatures on the legs. Okay, see the difference between that side and this side? It's a little deeper, a little more distinct, and I'll do the whole carving that way. Alright, so let me go back up here to the top of the tail. Alright, I'll be right back, folks.